Hey guys, welcome to the last episode of Tinted Mirrors. Today I have a very special guest, Alison, who is so kind to come in and talk about her ideas of beauty as a Hispanic woman and also just how she does her makeup. So I hope you guys are interested and please keep watching for more.
I'm Alison. My major is hearing and speech and I am Hispanic. My parents are from El Salvador and I also was born in El Salvador.
Okay, so the first question is, why do you put on your makeup and what does that mean to you?
I put on my makeup mainly to feel confident. I have a lot of redness on my skin, which I feel very uncomfortable about at times, but that's the main reason.
Do you think makeup makes you feel more confident in yourself?
Yes, especially I notice in class, let's say if I have a presentation and stuff, I make sure that I look a little more put together because I feel like that reflects, I don't know, that during my presentation I just feel better, I feel more comfortable, and just any other situation kind of similar like that, I just feel a lot more confident.
Is beauty important in your culture, and what are the defining traits of beauty in your culture?
I feel like not really. I visit El Salvador a lot, and I notice that when I go there, makeup is not something that people are very into, I guess you can say. If anything, they really appreciate the natural beauty, and not a lot of people wear makeup. So when I do go visit back, I actually tend to when I'm home, I tend to prepare my skin for when I go to El Salvador, because I won't be wearing a lot of makeup, so I try to make it I don't know, just focus more on the natural beauty aspect. So yeah, I don't think a lot of people wear makeup, or at least in my hometown. I also think it has to do with environmental factors, the weather and stuff is really hot, so yeah.
Do you think there are any beauty ideals in El Salvador that you try, or maybe even because you live in America, different things that you might feel you need to be?
I feel here makeup does play a big factor. I don't know, I feel the standards switch. I feel now it's more about embracing your natural beauty, but I think growing up, maybe in high school, I felt very, not pressured to wear makeup, but I just felt everybody else was doing it, so I felt I don't know, maybe I had to do it in a way, just to fit in with everybody else and just engage in conversation. I felt sometimes people would just talk about makeup, and if you didn't wear makeup, you maybe felt a little left out, but yeah.
Do you think that beauty is tied to race in mainstream culture, and how does that affect the way that you look at yourself?
So yes, but I do think, well, right now on top of my head, I can't really think of anything specific to the Hispanic culture, but just living here in the US, I feel there's definitely a standard. Yes, I think that it has affected the way I look at myself a lot. I tend to compare myself to others and trying to fit in the beauty standard of others. Specifically about makeup, maybe just always having a flawless skin, no imperfections on your skin. I feel I feel pressure to fit that beauty standard, so I tend to go out of my way to sometimes make sure I'm not breaking out, or just taking extra care of my skin, when not that it's not necessary, but I feel sometimes I just do it because I feel pressured in a way to do it.
Do you believe that your makeup has influence from your cultural background? If so, how? And if not, how would you describe your makeup style, and then where you got that inspiration from?
So my makeup is very simple. Like I don't do much to it, and I think part of it does have to do with my culture. I grew up with parents, well, also my parents, but like overall the people around me do not really wear a lot of makeup, just because, again, I would say that Hispanics for the most part in the live-in countries in like North America do not wear that much makeup. And my parents have always, like, when I grew up and I started wearing makeup, they were always really focused on the natural part of it. So they were like, oh, like, don't apply too much. And that didn't really have to do with my age. Like, I know some people are like, oh, like, too young, like your parents don't let you, but like for me it wasn't about my age. It was more about appreciating the natural aspect of it. So I feel like that definitely has impacted the way I do my makeup. Like I did for graduation like these really bold eyelashes, and my parents were like, oh, like, this does not look good, like why did you decide to do that? But like I felt like I felt good, and I also was trying to fit the, I guess, American standard of beauty. Like makeup is a lot more dramatic and you can do a lot more, whereas in Hispanic culture is kind of very simple, like mascara, foundation, or like eyeliner, but you don't really experience a lot with eyeshadows or like filling in your eyebrows, or it's not as common, I guess, as in America.
Do you feel that you use makeup to fit a societal standard of beauty? So you kind of mentioned about your skin before, but also, like, does having makeup on affect your self-confidence?
Yeah, like I mentioned before, like the whole skin aspect of it, or just, I do sometimes, my friends have always complimented my eyelids, that is like a good eyelid for like eyeshadow. So not that I feel pressure to do like my eyeshadow, but then I'm like, oh, like maybe I should try experimenting with eyeshadows more. So I feel like just comments that people make about your skin, or like the way your face is structured, sometimes can impact the way I do my makeup. So definitely I feel like society impacts it, and I do feel more confident doing my makeup, so I feel like it goes hand in hand.
So I know you mentioned like you like to like cover up your skin sometimes, but like if you think back to like when you first started getting acne, for example, or like back in high school when you felt like you needed to like look like everybody else or fit in, did you actually start wearing makeup because of your like skin, or because of like how, like, did people make comments, or like did you feel insecure?
I did started wearing it because it made me feel insecure, like just seeing my skin and then just seeing the after result of putting makeup on, just how like smooth it looked. And again, like I mentioned redness before, but that's something I'm very like uncomfortable about. So I did it not because people necessarily made comments about them, but because I just liked the way it looked with the makeup. I was able to like hide it, I guess, or just not make it as noticeable. And I still do that. Like I still mainly why I wear makeup is to kind of like hide the imperfections, and I guess that in that way society does play a role, because we're not really, I guess, appreciating natural factors that like acne, you know, like so yeah. And it's not something, you know, like on TV or like television, like everything where beauty is portrayed, beauty marks and redness, it's not something that's very visible to the public. So it's not something that we admire, I guess, in a way, or appreciate enough. So for those reasons I kind of like to hide them, and again, it just makes me feel better about myself.
So then in El Salvador, when you like don't wear as much makeup, do you still feel like insecure about it, or do you feel like that kind of goes away because people don't really care about it?
I feel like I still feel insecure, but not because it's my own thing. I'm not really like, I don't think about actually, like, I think about what other people think of me, but like they're not really thinking about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I just overthink it. So like I do feel uncomfortable, but it's not something that they really focus on, I guess, because everybody else around me embraces that. So it's just me that it's like constantly thinking about it, like, oh, like my redness or like my acne showing, but everybody around me, it's like normal for everybody else around me because they're just embracing it. So.
Yeah. That's really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Who taught you about makeup and how to do it? And can you describe the different kind of phases, if you had any, that you went through in terms of like how you did your makeup or your makeup style?
So I think, yeah, my best friends first got into makeup and they're like really good at makeup now. Like they do very dramatic looks. So that's definitely how I got into it. And they did like teach me a lot of things, but again, like if you were to compare my makeup compared to theirs, mine is very like natural. And I feel like they use makeup as a way to express themselves, whereas me, it's more about just feeling more confident. And them, it's like form of an art and stuff, and I don't really experience with makeup like that.
Right. Yeah.
Different faces, man. In high school, I used to do like really thick eyebrows. Like I would draw them very, very thick, and it was just not cute. Like I would look at pictures and I was like, oh my gosh, I need that. I also tried eyeliner, but I just feel like it didn't go with my face or something. Like it just made me look, I don't know, I didn't like it, so I like stopped doing it. Also eyeshadow, I used to, like, I feel like I went from a lot of makeup to just like little makeup. Like I used to experience with eyeshadows and yeah, like, and eyelashes too. Like I think my senior year of high school, I used to put on eyelashes to like go to class.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But now like I don't get the time for that. And yeah, I think those are like the different phases that I went through. So I think I went from very like, compared to what I do now, I did a lot more before. And I feel like it also has to do with just like in high school, I felt like I was a little more insecure than I am now, or like I care a lot more what people thought of me back then than I do now. So I felt like the reason why I used more products back then was to, again, just sort of like fit the beauty standard, and the fact that I care too much about that beauty standard is what led me to use a lot of product. But now I feel like I don't really care that much. So I just like do my own thing.
Yeah, that's great though.
Just do a little bit enough that I can boost my confidence.
So do you think that you'll ever get to a point where you're like so confident in yourself that you won't need makeup anymore? Or do you think that even if you were to be like completely confident in yourself, you would still put on makeup?
I feel like even if I was like very confident in myself, that I would still wear makeup. I like to like enhance like certain parts. Like I feel like eyelashes, I like to just makes my eye pop a little more. So, and like I like my eyes, like but I like still use makeup to enhance certain aspects. So I don't think that me wearing makeup is like 100% about feeling more confident about myself. It's also about just making some structures, I guess, like pop a little more, just appreciating it even more.
Like enhancing your already natural beauty.
Yeah. Yeah. So I say I will still wear makeup.
Okay. And then lastly, could you kind of talk about how you kind of got from being like pretty insecure to a little bit more confident now? Like, do you have any tips for people who might be watching this video?
So like I said before, I think that I care too much what other people thought of me. And what I realized is that a lot of things that you worry about, other people do not even notice. maybe, yes, I was breaking out that week, but people do not really, not that they don't, maybe they do notice, but like it doesn't matter to them. Like, so I would just say, do not worry about what other people think of you. And like some of the people that I worry about their opinions, like they're not even relevant now. So like you know, like
yeah.
do not stress about other people's opinions, because just don't.
Could you kind of explain what you did? Just like short summary about how you did your makeup today.
Okay. So I just put a little bit of foundation, again, just to, you can still see a little bit, but it's okay. Just like hide my redness, which is the main part for me. And then I put a little bit of concealer for my under eye bags. Just did some mascara to make my eyelashes a little longer. And then I think, oh yeah, just bronzer. Just like highlight my cheeks a little bit. And I think that's all I did.
That's it? Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.